Hi Tumblr. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've done a video. You'll have to excuse me. I tend to have very bad luck, and 2 days ago I was fully recovered from my wisdom teeth operation, and then yesterday I woke up and this side of my face blew up again, and I have a post-operation infection or something like that, post-operative infection. So now this side of my cheek is kind of swollen and things like that, and it's really scary. I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to my face? And I was really worried. I was like, Mom, I thought I had to do with something with gaining weight and stuff like that. And, we checked back there and it looked really swollen and red and was bleeding and things like that. So now my cheek is all puffy again, so you'll have to excuse my little swollen face. But I guess I just wanted to do a little bit of an update because I haven't seen or talked on a video in a while, and I thought it would really be beneficial instead of me typing out a 10-page thing. So first off, I got a new job, and it's actually not at the job that I went for an interview the other day where I had gone in the morning. I actually just went to one a half an hour ago, and it's for a new job at a restaurant. It's actually with Brooke, so I'm super excited. It's at a restaurant, and I have to kind of bus tables and serve water and things like that. And he said throughout time he's going to teach me how to make cappuccinos, and I have to go to 3 different restaurants. They're really high-end restaurants. I have to wear this little white button-up shirt. I have to wear my hair up, and I never wear my hair up, so I'm super nervous about that. And I can't wear dangly earrings. I have to wear just plain studs. Can't wear any jewelry. What else? Oh, I have to wear black khaki pants and a high-waisted belt, and I'm just oh my gosh, this is so not my style. I'd rather just wear my fun little cute clothes. But so yeah, I just have to, that's my new job, and I have to bus tables and serve them water and bread and things like that. And I'm super excited because there's a couple kids my age that work there, and I'm just really excited to finally be working again after the summer and be in a fun environment and things like that, and be making a lot of money because this is a very high-end restaurant, and then we get tips and things like that. So as long as I do my job, hopefully everything will go well. But anyway, on to, I guess, my progress in recovery. Things have been really well lately. It feels like food is kind of this sounds really weird, but food is kind of my friend now. And I guess, there's still those days where I feel I really need to challenge myself. I feel I've kind of been eating a lot of safe foods and things like that, and that I really need to kind of step it up a little bit. I know that I need to, in order to really get rid of this disorder, I can't always be sticking with my safe foods. And that's why, the other day I had something like bacon to just kind of remind myself that I can always allow myself these little splurges, and, being healthy and being recovered means that I need to make sure that I'm not still thinking like an orthorexic person would, or I'm not, just making everything clean every meal. I need to be able to have my splurges, have my ice cream, have my cookies, have my bacon, random things like that just, makes me feel like I'm a kid still, and makes me feel like, I'm not some 40-year-old woman, trying to, have a restricted clean diet and things like that in order to promote perfect health. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to always eat 110% clean and things like that. I always need to remember that I'm a kid, and I deserve to have my splurges and have some fun creative meals that aren't super duper healthy. But besides that, I guess I've just been getting a lot of questions lately about how I accept my body weight and my body image and things like that. And things have been a lot harder lately because of, I guess, swelling and things like that. So it's really easy for myself to look in the mirror and think that, I'm fatter, because literally my face does look big. Literally it does look bigger because I'm swollen. And, I wrote a little bit of a post on this, but I guess it feels a lot more real to talk about it in person. Going throughout my recovery with my wisdom teeth, it was so familiar. Something just felt so familiar as to when I recovered from my eating disorder. It's at first there's a terrible couple days, almost impossible to start eating because of the pain that I felt in my mouth. And it reminded me a lot of, in the beginning of recovery, it was so hard to eat, even though I wanted to eat so bad. It was so hard to eat because my stomach would just feel like a wreck, but I had to force myself to do it, knowing that it was what I had to do to get better. And just like with my wisdom teeth, it hurt my mouth so bad to start eating at first, but I knew that I had to eat because, it's what I had to do to help my mouth heal a little bit better, slowly but surely. So it just felt really familiar and really strange, because I had an 8-month period where I was recovering from my eating disorder, and then I had this 2-week period where I was recovering from my wisdom teeth, and it felt like my 8-month period squished into 2 weeks. And it was just weird to really recognize that, the more that I looked past the swelling, the more that I looked past, the pain in my mouth and things like that, and just kept doing what I know I had to do, kept eating, kept myself well rested and things like that, didn't try to be up and walking, and didn't try to put too much pressure on my mouth or on myself for the way that I looked. I didn't put any, I was sick of putting myself down because of being swollen. There was really nothing I could do about it. So the less I kind of focused on those things, the quicker I felt like the recovery was, and the quicker I felt like the swelling went down. And I feel like that has a lot to do with my eating disorder recovery, because the more that I kind of just pushed myself through the food and tried to, walk away from a meal and find other things to do, find more productive ways to, involve myself in my life and involve myself in other things and try to explore what my life should really be about, I felt like not only did the quicker my recovery go, but I felt like the quicker my mental state got much better. The more, the less, after your meals, the less you focus on either what the meal was or what the next meal will be, and the more you figure out, some kind of hobby that you like. I definitely picked up crocheting, I picked up photography, I picked up fashion. The more I just, went into my closet and found random things to try on or random things to do with my hair, I felt like a girl again. I just kept doing things that I know would benefit me most in the end. If I sat there and focused on my next meal, what would that be doing for me? How would I be developing a person? Because a lot of people have a fear of becoming no one once they're recovered. Like, it's kind of, I had that fear as well, no doubt in my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, well, I'm always used to being, this skinny girl, or oh, I'm always so used to being sick. What the heck is going to happen after I recover? Who am I going to be? What's life going to be like? I don't have any, I thought I don't have any hobbies and things like that. So during my recovery, it was like this sense of like yearning. I needed to do something with my life, because the thought of real life was so overwhelming that I needed to just make my life what I know I wanted it to be. So I started picking up cooking utensils and started cooking some cool and different things instead of just, my little safe foods. I started, baking things and things like that. So that was a great hobby to pick up. I started crocheting. I started, fashion. I started to paint. I started to just do a bunch of little random things to try and test out who I feel like I want to be. So that definitely helped. And I feel like the more that you do those kinds of things, it takes the thought off of your body image, and it takes the thought off of all those things, because you start to like the person on the inside. You start to accept your personality, and you start to accept, I start to accept Ashley, not what Ashley looks like. I don't want to accept what I look like in the mirror. I want to accept who I am on the inside. I want to be able to love my personality. I want to be able to love, what I do in my life instead of what it looked like. And I guess just one last thing is, I'll never, like a couple days ago, I got this message from someone who said, there are certain things about themselves that they don't like and they can't change. Say if I personally, I think I have a big forehead, and I know I've been told I have a big forehead. So things like that, that I can't change. I obviously can't make my forehead go away. I got a message about that from someone who kept, talking about all these things that they don't like about themselves, but things that they really can't change, like things like their feet or something, they said. And I guess I just wanted to say to those people, every single person in this world has something about themselves that they don't like. Everyone. There's no doubt in my mind that, even the most perfect looking people have something wrong that they don't like about themselves, whether other people see it or not. I will never forget this girl. She had the utmost confidence in herself, and she inspires me to this day. She was definitely not the coolest girl in my school. She was in my grade, by the way. She was definitely not the coolest girl in the school. She had plenty of problems with herself. She was overweight. She kind of smelled a little bit. She just had a lot of weird characteristics about herself. And in middle school, she hid herself and kept those, insecurities to herself, and, just kept herself in the corner all the time and didn't talk to anyone, and just kept herself secluded from the grade and everything because she was so insecure about herself. And then in high school, she completely changed. She just started rocking her body, even though she was she actually was overweight. I'm not just saying it by my personal opinion, but she literally clinically was overweight. she rocked her body. She went up to people, started making friends, started being really outgoing, and she still inspires me to this day to just love who I am and not what I look like. Brooke just walked in. Come say hi. She doesn't want to say hi. Anyway, that girl will still inspire me to this day because she just, everything that she did was because she loved herself, and she just knew that being insecure about things that she can't change will never change her. You know what I mean? She can't keep putting herself down for things that she can't change. Like, I'll never make my forehead grow smaller, so you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to wear a headband, make my hair nice, something. What?
Keep put these pimples away.
Oh, yeah, Brooke's talking about pimples. But anyway, those are just things that I can change in my life, so why stress about them? I'm not going to sit here and worry about it all the time, you know? I'm just going to find some way to make myself confident in other areas, and then people will look past those things, because every single person in my school accepted this girl after she started, you know, putting confidence in herself and actually walked into school and started going up to people and talking to them instead of sitting in the corner all by herself. So, I guess I'm just trying to say is, you know, if there's everyone has something that they don't like about themselves, and honestly, you can't change it. So look past it and try and find things about yourself that you actually do like, and just go from there, because it's really not worth dwelling on the one thing that you don't like about yourself when there's probably so many other qualities about yourself that are so amazing and that other people would love to see. So that's all. I'm going to go to school now and eat dinner with Brooke. So everyone have a great day, and I love you.